When you lock eyes with your cat, the first thing you need to understand is that felines perceive the world very differently from us. Their eyes are adapted for hunting, detecting movement, and seeing in low light conditions. While humans have trichromatic vision, we can distinguish red, green, and blue, cats have a form of dichromatic vision. This means they see blue and green relatively clearly, but red in shades close to it may appear muted or even gray. In other words, that bright red sweater you love might look like a neutral gray or brown to your cat. This detail completely changes how they perceive your clothing, your hair, or even colorful toys. They aren't entirely colorblind, but their perception is more limited and less vibrant than ours, which is fascinating because what we see as contrast isn't always perceived the same way by them. But color is just part of the story. A cat's vision is built to detect movement with extreme precision. When you move slowly around the room, your cat might not notice, but if you make even a small, quick gesture, they will perceive it immediately. This ability comes from centuries of evolution as nocturnal hunters, where every tiny twitch could mean the difference between a meal and an empty stomach. So when your cat watches you, they are often analyzing small movements, the jingle of an object on the table, the flutter of a fly's wing, or even a subtle change in your facial expression, and interpreting every detail with almost surgical attention. Another fascinating aspect is depth perception. Cats have large, forward-facing eyes, which give them a good sense of depth, essential for calculating precise jumps and chasing prey. When your cat looks at you, they don't just see a flat human figure. They can judge distances, angles, and the dimensions of your body, almost as if preparing a meticulous approach, whether to ask for food, affection, or even to strategize a leap onto the sofa. This ability gives them highly efficient three-dimensional perception, even though their color world is more limited than ours. In addition to color and depth, feline vision is extremely adapted to low light. Cats have a reflective layer called the tapetum lucidum behind the retina, which amplifies light and allows them to see almost as if it's twilight or night, even with minimal illumination. That's why when you look at your cat at night and see their eyes glowing, it's not magic, it's pure evolutionary biology. They can clearly observe you in the dark, detect your face and posture, while you can barely make out objects around you. It's as if they have built-in night vision, and every movement you make in the shadows is captured with incredible precision. The expression in a cat's gaze also carries communication and emotion. A cat doesn't just look at you to see, it observes to understand. The way they hold eye contact, blink slowly, or glance away convey feelings ranging from affection to caution. A slow blink, for example, is the feline equivalent of saying, "I trust you," while a fixed, intense stare can indicate curiosity or even an assessment of potential threat. So when your cat stares at you, they aren't just seeing you physically, they are decoding your posture, tone of voice, scent, and behavior to interpret your intentions. It's a multi-layered reading, almost as if they are reading a living book called You. Additionally, a cat's field of vision is wider than ours. They can perceive nearly 200 degrees of their surroundings, while humans see about 180. This means that even without moving their head, they capture peripheral movements that go unnoticed by us. Even more impressively, their peripheral vision is highly sensitive to small motions, like a shifting shadow or a swaying strand of hair. So that moment when you feel your cat predicted something you were going to do, they probably detected micro movements that escaped your human eye, something almost instinctive and instantaneous. Another point many people don't realize is that a cat's visual focus differs from ours. They see moving objects better at a certain distance than fine details up close. That's why when you try to show a toy inches from their nose, they may not pay attention. But when you toss it a few meters away, they can see it perfectly, calculate the jump, and prepare to pounce. In other words, feline vision is almost always action-oriented. It's not designed to read books, but to decode signs of life and movement around them. And what about their sense of smell and hearing combined with vision? Cats don't rely on their eyes alone. They integrate multiple senses. The gaze they fix on you comes with awareness of your scent, the sound of your breathing, and even the vibrations of your body as you move. This means the image your cat has of you is a fusion of sight, smell, and hearing. When they observe you, they literally construct a mental version of you that includes every sensory detail, which explains why they can recognize you from a distance or sense changes in your mood just from posture and micro-expressions. Finally, it's important to remember that every cat is unique. Vision and perception can vary by breed, age, and life experience. Older cats may have slightly blurred vision, but this doesn't reduce their ability to detect movement and facial expressions. Kittens, on the other hand, are still refining eye-brain coordination and color perception. Yet all share this silent fascination with observing and interpreting the human world, sometimes with near meditative patience, other times with sudden feline alertness, ready to act in an instant. So next time your cat looks at you, remember they aren't just seeing your face as you see theirs. They are interpreting limited colors, detecting minute movements, decoding expressions, scents, and sounds, and translating it all into an instinctive emotional reading of who you are, what you're doing, and whether you represent safety or distraction. It's a gaze layered with precision and curiosity, a true feline universe focused entirely on you, which is why those silent moments of connection can feel so powerful and mesmerizing. If you watch closely, you may notice small signs of this perception: the slow blink, the tilt of the head, the focus on specific parts of your body. Each gesture is a silent message, a fragment of incredible feline visual and sensory ability. Understanding this not only strengthens your bond with your cat, but also transforms how you interact with them, making every shared gaze a moment full of meaning, respect, and admiration for the incredible feline world unfolding before us humans. A cat's gaze at you is far more than eyes that merely see. It's an emotion radar, a movement detector, a translator of intentions, and above all, a window into the mind of a creature that observes us with attention, precision, and silent love that only they can express.